Hey, hello everybody. I hope you're all going well. I just thought I'd just jump on. I often get asked with this talk about intuition is if we're all intuitive, why can't I hear my intuition? And so I thought I'd come on and share a video because it's probably what a lot of other people are thinking as well. And so one of the first reasons is we may not be clairaudient. That is the way we receive information. So there are different ways of receiving information. Some people get it through feeling, some through seeing, and some through a knowing that certain things are whichever way that they are. Anyway, that's another video in itself. But what actually blocks us from being able to receive this information, whichever way that it comes through for us? Now, the first big one is stress. I think I spoke in the last video about how stress makes our body constrict. And I'm sure you've all felt that, before when you're stressing, you feel really tense and tight. And so our energy field is constricted as well. And so when we can be in a more relaxed state, our energy is able to be more expansive. And then when our energy is more expansive, it's much easier for us to be picking up on this other energetic information, because this intuitive information exists within the energy, the energy fields around us. And so if our energy is too constricted, we've got no way to be able to be in contact with that larger field of information. And so when we're in that more relaxed state, if you look at the last video, I went into it in a lot more detail, but creating that expansion. So another thing that stress does is it keeps our mind so busy. Like we're always thinking about, what we're going to do later, what we've got to do today, what we didn't do right, what this, that, what, blah, 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 blah. And, with all that going on, it is impossible for there to even be space for any other sort of awareness to come through as well. So, a big one is starting to work on how we can reduce the overdoing, the overbusy, the overthinking. And I'll talk a little bit at the end about some different ways that we can help to do that really easily. But what else? I'm just trying to stay on topic. But what else does actually block our capacity to be able to hear our intuition? Fear. So fear is a massive one. Fear that actually creates anxiety. Anxiety is fear. And we end up running on these fear survival programs all the time. What if this doesn't get done, or this doesn't get done, or I'm not good enough, or, those people won't like me, or all of these different sorts of fear programs create these complete blockages. In a lot of these fear programs run in our subconscious basement. And so this is where a lot of our behaviors come from without us actually even recognizing. So when we look at the structure of the consciousness, you can think of it like an iceberg. So the tip of the iceberg is our awareness. That's our 3D physical reality, all of the thinking. We know what we're doing, what we need to do, who we are, blah, blah, blah. That's our thinking. That's only 10% of our consciousness. Now we have the subconscious, which is the remaining part. This is all the other parts of the brain that haven't been mapped and everything like that. But this is what contains all of our thoughts, all of our feelings, all of our memories. And, a lot of the time these memories are held more firmly when they're negative because of the way that we're geared towards survival. That's just the natural instinct of animals, as being geared towards survival. And so we can have in our subconscious basement fear programs in one way to try and keep us safe, but then in another way it doesn't allow us to change our way forward. So, say if one time we were in a friendship with somebody and they did something really horrible to us, that every time someone then came close to us, we'd think, oh, well, they're going to be like that other person. So you can sort of see here where this starts to become a problem, and why it's such a powerful practice to be able to do internal reflection. So noticing when we're having fear triggers and pulling ourselves back to actually assess, is that what is happening now, or is this something from the past that I need to resolve and let go of? And so when we can start to recognize that this is how the mind works, it really helps us to be able to start untangling a lot of those subconscious belief patterns. Now, the other place we can get these subconscious belief patterns is from our family lines. We can have attitudes and behaviors that come through our family lines as well. And, that's another whole interesting, ball game as well. But again, having that in your awareness when we're living in the present moment, that we actually have the capacity to be able to say, ooh, hang on a minute, is this what's happening now, or is this a past behavior? Am I being my mother? Am I being my father? Is there a real reason for me to be, acting in this particular way at this particular time? Negative self-beliefs, that's a really big one as well. I can't do this. I'm not good enough to do this. I'm not special enough to do this. My intuition is broken. It's not. It's there. It's there all the time. It's just about being able to get through some of these barriers and blockages to be able to much more easily access that information, and then, be able to work more in flow with your life and, the world around you as well. And, from that space, it's much easier then to be able to design, a life for yourself that, that you'd really love living in. One more thing before I let you go, how to remove it. How do we do this? Changing our vibration. So changing our vibration is the easiest way to change a lot of these other patterns, because what happens, the amazing thing that happens with vibration is that because energy magnetizes itself, that when we ourselves are sitting at a particular vibration, we magnetize that same energy. And so if we are sitting in a higher vibrational field, we are much less likely to start to fall back into old patterns that are resonating at a lower frequency. And so, without even having to, go under, deep psychological analysis, Sigmund Freud style, we can actually just work on our vibration to be able to change things that are around us. And so, doing things that you love, scheduling in time to whatever that is for you, if it's going to the beach, if it's just sitting alone on, the riverside, or sitting in a park or your garden, or, doing the vacuuming, if you like that sort of thing. But, you can create a mindfulness activity out of doing the vacuuming too, if you like. It's just about staying in the present moment and releasing things that aren't serving you, for popping your attention on things that you do really enjoy, things that that do make your heart sing. And that's sort of one of the main keys, is, does it make my heart sing or sink? And your heart is throwing out the biggest vibrational field ever. So when we can start to attune ourselves more to the glass half full perspective, we do literally change our vibrational signature, and then from that space start to change the world around us. Anyway, I hope that was helpful. Do reach out if there's anything that I can do for you. Take care and have a beautiful rest of the day or night. Bye.